Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you here to this Isle of Man Business Breakfast. I am Dr. Ken Milne. I'm Senior Manager of Energy Policy in the Department of Economic Development. I'm very pleased to be on the panel with me today. Alongside me, I have Richard Boyko, who is the Strategy and Business Development Manager for the Manx Electricity Authority. To his right, we have Steve Malley, Director of Baker Tilly Isle of Man. And at the far right, we have Steve Brown, Managing Director of Stroma NX, both of which are Isle of Man companies. The format today will be, each of us will give a short 10 minutes overview about the organisations, about the capabilities of Isle of Man and opportunities. And at the end, we'll have a question and answer session for the last 15-20 minutes, an opportunity to ask people questions. If you hold your questions to the very end, that'd be great. We'd greatly appreciate that. So let me get started. I'm going to give an overview about the Isle of Man. I'm going to talk about the benefits of the island for clean tech businesses. Also, we're exploring an Ecoisland initiative. We'll discuss that in a little bit more detail. And of course, a lot of you here from the Offshore Renewable Energy will be given an update on our progress with Offshore Renewables. And we'll maybe have a few announcements at the end as well. Thank you. So, for those of you who don't know where the Isle of Man is, hopefully most of you know where we are, but we are a small island right bang in the middle of the Irish Sea, I like to say the heart of the British Isles. The island's about 32 miles in length, about 14 miles wide. So it's quite a small area. It has a population of about 86,000 and is a British Crown dependency. So what is that? That means that the sovereign head of state is Queen Elizabeth II, the same as the UK. However, we have our own parliament, which allows us to make our own laws, raise our own taxes. We have been very successful over the years, not just in the finance sector, but in a multitude of sectors. And we've very much diversified our economy, and we've had 30 years of continuous economic growth on the island. This year we're predicting about 4% growth, which compared to the current economic climate is quite favourable. How do we achieve that? Well, it's because we are a well-regulated international finance centre. Very easy, very quick to establish new business on the island. We are AA+ rated by all the rating agencies, Standard & Poor's and Moody's. We're also on the OECD whitelist. We're at the top rated bracket for the OECD, and we're used as a benchmark for other jurisdictions. We have a very business-friendly, accessible government. If you come to the island, you can meet ministers, political members, and you can have a direct discussion with people that will influence government as well, policies. We are similar to the UK in that England, we have a well-established common law jurisdiction, so a very similar legal system, although we have our own Manx law, which gives us legal stability and also commercial legal certainty as well. We are easily accessible from major UK transport hubs with numerous flights into London, City of London, Gatwick, and we have a growing clean tech cluster. We have over 100 clean tech companies already on the island. You'll hear from a couple of them today, but success stories about what they do and the benefits the islands bring to them. We are a low tax jurisdiction. As I mentioned, we set our own tax rates. Most of the revenue for government comes from income tax, so the creation of jobs on the island is the most important thing for us. But we are also part of the VAT arrangement with the UK. So we collect VAT at 20%, and that creates quite a lot of our revenue for government. That allows us to be a low tax jurisdiction because we have 0% corporation tax for most businesses. We have 0% capital gains and 0% inheritance tax. So very attractive for businesses to maximise their efficiency, grow their business, and also for them selling on at a later date. We have state-of-the-art power and telecoms infrastructure. We have an energy from waste plant. Most of our electricity comes from gas, from a combined cycle gas turbine, and you'll hear about that later from my colleague, Dr. Richard Boyko. Our, as I said, IT and communication telecoms is state-of-the-art as well. And we have numerous tax agreements, including double tax agreement with the UK. But in addition to that, there are a number of benefits for the clean tech sector in particular. The four key ones for us are the fact that because we're a small island, we're an ideal location to trial technologies. The motorbike at the bottom left is from TT0, electric motorbikes. We ran the world's first electric motorbike race back in 2009. And every year since then, at the world famous TT races, we hold an electric motorbike race. Technology for this bike improves year on year, and we're now averaging lap speeds around a 37 3/4 mile track, which includes going over mountains, at over 110 miles an hour for an electric motorbike. That compares to petrol at 130. The gap is narrowing, and we envisage within a few years electric bikes might even beat the petrol ones. Who knows in the future? We have a precision manufacturing sector on the island. We have companies like GE, Swagelok, who make components for the aerospace sector. Swagelok make high-pressure valves for the oil and gas sector. We have companies involved in the space sector, a highly skilled workforce in the Isle of Man. Even though the population is 86,000, we have 1,000 employees in the precision manufacturing sector alone. So that we have the skills on island to be part of the supply chain for new technologies. We are not part of the EU, but we have access to European markets. So if you manufacture goods in Isle of Man, you have the free movement of goods into the UK and into Europe. So we can be a manufacturing base for you as well. Protection of IP, we are signed up to all the intellectual property agreements. So the PCT rate for patents applicable in Isle of Man, as is the Madrid Protocol for trademarks, the Berne Convention for copyrights, all applicable in Isle of Man. You can protect your intellectual property there and obviously maximise the financial benefits from the 0% corporation tax, 0% capital gains, etc. Let me just give you a few examples of those benefits. So these are the electric motorbikes from TT0. As you see, they're cutting-edge technology. The island is a great place to trial technology. As well as TT0, we've done hydrogen fuel trials on the island. And for telecoms, you may not be aware of this, but 3G mobile phone technology was trialled in Isle of Man and then rolled out to the rest of Europe. So again, it shows that we have a proven track record of trialling technologies. Another couple examples of Isle of Man businesses, Blazing Jets. They manufacture a micro turbine jet engine. It fits in the palm of your hand, shown over on your left on the screen. You can see it compared to the size of a pencil. It's very small. That's a range extender in the Jaguar Land Rover electric sports car. So this is an example of a company based in Isle of Man, develop prototype technology there, protect their IP, and commercialise it. This is another company, a new one to the island, Ecoisland, who are creating a new generator technology that will revolutionise the use of renewable technology. Again, on the island, protecting their IP and commercialising technology for the future. Okay, let me turn to ecovannin, which is Manx for Ecoisland. This is a new initiative that we're exploring. It brings together the public and private sector. It brings together the government, the businesses and the NGOs, all to work together under a unique umbrella. It builds on the existing benefits the Isle of Man offers to create some sustainable solutions for the island. Islands are quite unique. They have to be more resilient, more self-sufficient than larger countries like the mainland UK. Therefore, it's important for the island to work very closely with the community to create opportunities that have a sustainable future. The Ecovannin, Ecoisland initiative will be a partnership to promote sustainable Isle of Man community. It will encourage sustainable economic growth while enhancing the social, environmental and economic factors. And we will be focused on a key number of initiatives which will include business, energy, transport, etc. And as I said before, it builds upon the benefits that Isle of Man already has for the clean tech sector and other sectors. And I want to turn to offshore renewables and give you an update of where we're at. The Isle of Man purchased its seabed out to 12 miles from the Crown Estate back in the early 1990s. We have 4,000 square kilometres of seabed right bang in the middle of the Irish Sea. You can see from the graph here, we're surrounded, very close proximity to Scotland, England, Wales and Ireland. Almost 90% of our territory is marine environment, so we're looking to maximise the commercial opportunities there. We introduced our primary legislation to update our consenting process. That passed our Parliament at the end of last year, December, and is now in place. Our secondary legislation and our regs for marine developments goes to our Parliament in March, so our new planning consent process will be in place from the 1st of April of this year. It is more closely aligned with the UK, so developers will have confidence, they'll know what's required, but hopefully we'll streamline the process so it'll be less cumbersome, so we can actually get projects in the water working quicker. We have a significant wind and tidal resource. Anyone who's been to the Isle of Man will know we're a very windy island, right bang in the middle of the Irish Sea. So we've got potential for gigawatts of offshore wind, and we will be moving these projects forward soon. We also have shallow water depths, which drives down the cost for offshore wind, and we're close proximity to UK, so it reduces the cabling costs, again makes it more cost effective. It's probably more similar to the UK rounds 1 and 2, so it's that sort of technology. You can use proven technology in the Isle of Man waters. And again, we have a good tidal resource, and we'll be looking at projects there as well. The Isle of Man, because of our location right bang in the middle Irish Sea, we could actually be an interconnector hub. We can connect a number of renewable projects in our own waters and neighbouring jurisdictions, bring them to the Isle of Man to a substation, and then have high voltage cables going back to the UK. This makes it easier for National Grid. There's less landing points onto the UK coastline, and for a grid upgrade comes easier. And it cuts down cabling costs, again driving down costs for offshore projects, and we're also very interested in that as well. What have we done up to now? We have done a Manx Marine Environment Assessment, which is like a strategic environment assessment. We published that a couple of years ago. It's on our website, fully available to developers and the public. It shows all the existing constraints in our waters, so it allows developers to identify areas that are suitable for development. As I mentioned, we've updated our planning process and our consenting process. Planning applications will come into government, which is the Department of Infrastructure, who own the seabed. They will refer it to an independent planning inspector who will give a recommendation to our Council of Ministers, who will make the final decision regarding projects. So very much streamlined. We have recently appointed a consultant to assist government to progress these projects. That consultant is from Source, Low Carbon, and Catherine Hooper is here with us today as well. So if you want to have a chat with her, she is available. We will be issuing tomorrow our expression of interest for offshore wind and tidal projects in the Isle of Man territorial seas. We plan to, after that expression of interest, to invite tenders in the springtime and then appoint developers during the summer of this year. That will enable us to deliver projects by 2020, which is in time for the UK 2020 targets. This is energy to be exported to the UK. So just to conclude, I've mentioned that Isle of Man is an ideal location for trial technologies. We have the precision manufacturing sector already on the island as part of the supply chain for your businesses. You have access to European markets for exports, and you can maximise the financial benefits from your IP if it's based on the Isle of Man. We have an environment that's suitable to maximise growth for your clean tech business, and hopefully you'll hear a bit more about that shortly. And as you see, we have significant opportunities to develop offshore renewable energy in our waters, and we will be progressing these projects during this year.